Hello.
Hello you.
Welcome to a new video. It's March 2021 and it has been a year since
lockdown.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's been crazy, isn't it?
Has been crazy. We've been doing some reflecting. Well, we're actually competing with neighbours' music right now. If you can hear a bit of club going off. There's a party in the building.
It's been quiet all morning. Literally, as soon as you turn the camera on, it's...
So there's a bit of house music. So we haven't put that music on the bottom of this video.
It's just the man with the flood and the sound bar and the stereo upstairs.
So we're having a bit of a party. But anyway, I've been looking back over the last 12 months, thinking about what we're up to now, but also what we are up to in the future and planning ahead.
Moving away from that man at some point, or pulling the plug on his electric.
Estelle on our Facebook group posted a question, didn't she? If you knew you were going to be in lockdown for this long, would you have done anything different? And it got us thinking, didn't it? Before we went into lockdown, we had quite a few life changes, didn't we?
At the end of 2019, we were in LA. On the last couple of days, you felt a bit ropey, didn't you?
Yeah, so the last day of the LA trip, I was really poorly.
There was one evening you literally took some paracetamol and slept.
Yeah.
And I was pottering around the hotel room. And then on the flight, you felt a bit rough.
Yeah.
So you were achy and fevery. And then we got back in January and you had a cough.
For about 2 weeks, I was quite poorly.
Then I got some kind of weird fever dream for a couple of days and a cough.
Your parents were poorly as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
We always have a question about, like, was it COVID at that time or was it something else? Was it just a cold? And we'll never know. So we started the year coming back from LA.
When we came back, you got news from your mum, didn't you?
Yes. So it was a really weird time. So we started the year with we both having parents who were quite poorly. So my mum was diagnosed with cancer just before Christmas, but she told me after Christmas. My mum being my mum, not wanting to spoil our trip or anything, she didn't tell us.
For you, innit?
So we spent a lot of January and February, myself particularly, going up to see my parents on the weekends, and my mum had an operation, I think around the February time, wasn't it? So it was just over a year ago she had that.
And then at the end of February, I got a phone call from my mum when I was at work saying my dad had gone to hospital for a checkup, but his blood oxygen was low, he couldn't really breathe. He was at the local county hospital and they went, oh no, you need to go to the main hospital. So they took him there because he needed a pacemaker. So that was on a Thursday. I went down on the Friday and he had the operation on I think the 28th of February, which is literally just a year gone now.
Yeah. So that month was really stressful. Like, I think out of all the months we've ever had together, I think that was one of the more stressful ones we've had.
The good news is, my dad is fine. He's had his checkup literally this week.
My mum's been signed off after a year, so...
Although she was having treatment every day for 3 weeks on the run up to Easter during the first lockdown last year, which was quite terrifying. She
was having radiation and so forth, and it was quite far, the hospital was quite far away, so they were having to drive every single day. She had it for 3 weeks, Monday to Friday, every day, so it's quite intense and stuff. But she's okay now. She's fully recovered and she's doing really well. But obviously, you would have seen in the weekend vlogs, I do their shopping so they don't have to go out, and they've been shielding and all of that type of stuff. And my dad has really bad asthma as well, so
we've had this conversation together and with parents. We were so grateful that, I mean, not grateful that they were ill, but the timing of it was pre the whole kick-off with, you know, everything that happened. Them to be in hospital having their treatment before things got really, really bad. I'm very blessed that timing happened, but not very happy that they had to go through that, if that makes sense. It's mixed feelings, isn't it?
Yeah, because none of my mum's treatment was interrupted. She was treated almost straight away. So there was no delay due to COVID, and I think that was because the cases were so low at that time.
Yeah, it was still being joked about, because we went to Florida in the February and I went through immigration and they asked if we'd been to China.
Yeah.
We come back from China recently, and looking back, you're like,
we thought it was quite funny, didn't we? We didn't really take it that seriously. It was really bad.
But no one was at that point. But now you just think, even when we started putting those logs together and things had really kicked off, we're like, oh gosh, that's only like a month ago.
So bad. And I remember walking through the airport and people coughing, and we were going, oh my gosh, COVID, or whatever it was called. I don't think it was even called COVID at that stage. We've had a really lucky year.
You also started a new job a week before lockdown.
Well, I did 2 weeks in the office, so I handed in my notice on the job I was doing, and I applied for a job in the same company. I got the job, but I only ever got to do that job how it was originally set up for 2 weeks because it was all outward facing work from the organisation, and everyone was shut down. I was having actually my annual appraisal the other day at work, and I was saying, like, I don't think I've ever actually done the job how it was supposed to be designed in the real world. It's been all about adapting to what's happened in the last 12 months. So yeah, I got a new job. That was quite scary doing that. We've both been really fortunate of working from home.
Yeah, I went into lockdown knowing that my company was merging 2 teams, so that uncertainty went on for months.
Yeah, it did.
Resolved.
You got a job still?
Yeah, you've got a job still, I've got a job still. Our friends and family are safe and well. So many other people lost jobs, lost loved ones.
Yeah.
We are absolutely 100% so grateful for the scenario that we're in. It's been a really crazy year for everyone.
Yeah.
And these are just our thoughts on that crazy year.
And it's not been without its challenges and without its upset. I think we've been really lucky to have each other at home.
It's been the dream.
From home,
it's been the absolute dream. Never ever
spend so much time with you.
Never ever are we going to have this opportunity to have this
not.
time with the ones we love in lockdown. And I appreciate that's not the same for everyone, and home isn't a safe space for everyone. We're very, very fortunate, and in many ways it has been my dream, spending literally 24/7 with you for a year. No, you know what I mean?
Everyone's had their own different experience of lockdown. Lockdown's meant something very different to every single person.
Yeah, but to have those that you really care under the same roof, as challenging as that may be, when you look back at it, you're never going to get that amount of time with those people. So yeah, I feel very, very grateful.
But even though we've not been able to see people as much as we normally would, I feel like we've got to know some people really, really well. So for example, like Tom and Jane, who don't live very far away from us, who also vlog.
Timo Sullivan.
I feel like over lockdown we've got to know them a lot better, and they've been quite local, so when we have been able to see people, it's been nice to see them and get to know them, but also FaceTiming with people and just really having more of those chats, because they've become so much more important. And I think before we took them for like, not take people for granted, but take the opportunity for granted to see people. And Alex and we came, we were walking around London and just enjoying the city and not knowing that was probably the last time for quite a while we were going to get to do that.
I remember the start of lockdown, my medication had been delivered to the booths at work, and I had to go out on the second day of lockdown, and this is what it looked like. That was the tube.
Empty. It was crazy.
That was the tube.
It was really crazy.
That was what the tube carriage looked like.
It's a different world because we were commuting, so you have to go all the way through London, so there's no other way of doing it. You have to go into central London and back out. And it's normally that sort of journey which you see on the TV news where everyone is like this, and I mean, the amount of tube journeys I've done in my life where my face is up against the door and you're trying to keep it off.
Or someone else.
Hello. Someone's armpit. It's really intense, those journeys, and they're so horrible to have to do them. Quite recently I've been doing work out of London, essential work out of London, and going to Paddington, there's like 10 people in the station, and you're like, oh my gosh, this was where they used to close the station down for overcrowding every single morning. And suddenly there's like 10, it's so surreal. Did have that sort of end of days feel without being dramatic.
I've not been on a bus or a tube for literally a year now.
Yeah.
It's the longest time in my adult life I've not been on public transport. I don't even know how to use a bus now, because
it does feel weird.
I mean, in terms of, you have to get to a different door, you can't go through the front door, I don't think, and it's limited to 30. I don't know.
When lockdown started, we started setting up routines at home. So we were both working from home. I worked at the kitchen table, dining table. You were sat here. We do have really good routines actually, where we have the radio on in the morning and we work out who's got what meetings, because we both can't be on like Teams and Zoom at the same time. But then at lunchtimes we'd go for walks. We'd go and walk around the park.
Yeah, we stopped that because it got too crazy busy.
Got too crazy busy. But there was one trip we went to the park where you got attacked by the birds. We recreated Hitchcock. And it's like,
there's a photo of that.
There is.
You can put that in.
And there's just all these crows. I don't know if I remember that.
Squirrels and birds, not my friend.
Yeah.
But you say we got a routine. I don't think we got a routine at all. That's one of my biggest regrets of lockdown, is not having a better routine.
I think we could have a healthier routine, but I quite like the fact that at 1 o'clock, so we have a late lunch, so we do lunch 1 till 2, and we put on the news at 1 o'clock. We'll make lunch together, we'll sit and eat together, we'll have a chat about what we're going to do that evening. You know, there's 3 hours left of work. I finish at 5, you finish at 5:30.
No commute home. There's less chance for us to switch off.
There's something we've noticed more recently, isn't there? That sort of
That commute time,
downtime,
where you listen to your music, check up on messages, play a game on your phone. We don't have that time at the moment. Literally is home, work, home or work.
I get quite stressed when, you know, you look at your phone, it's got all those red circles with the numbers on. I mean, yours is just terrible.
My email's there, 15,000 unread.
Don't email him. But yeah, the tube journey or the journey home, I used to try and clear WhatsApp or clear like Facebook Messenger and all those things. You just don't get a chance to do that anymore.
Bloody millennials.
Or read and things. I mean, the early days of lockdown, we were joking about being able to work in your pyjama bottoms and have a shirt on top if you just
I have not worn a matching pair of socks in 12 months. And you know what? That's the one thing I've taken from this. I don't have to wear matching socks ever again. No one cares. The world doesn't stop.
I wear matching socks.
The world was stopping before I started wearing unmatched socks. In fact, I've got a green and a grey sock on today.
Sorry.
Look, I've got photos of me in just weird unmatching socks, and I don't care. So that's my new thing. I'm not wearing matching socks. If they happen to be matching as I pull them out the drawer, but I'm not going searching, pairing up socks. Life literally is too short to be doing that.
Moving on. Something else happened in March. People started to do more on social media, so the Cages performing every single week was a real highlight for me. And
if you don't know who the Cages are, Scott and Yaz, the stranger couple on YouTube, are in a band with their friend Millie called the Cages Band, and they did a Friday night gig. Was it every week or every other Friday?
It was so good.
At the start of lockdown, from their home in Spain. Perfect way to start the weekend.
Seeing people in the chat on there who we know, such as Tom and Jane, Chris and Shari, and Jamie Baker and Despicable 3, and Cheers Ears, and seeing all these familiar names.
It was joyous, and it really got us through that early part of the crazy year.
We loved it. And then with that, we started watching so much more TV. We wouldn't really get into box sets of things, and I feel like we've watched so much TV this year. So we were watching things like The Tiger King, Mandalorian, and the
Friday night dinner.
Friday night dinner with Rhea and Alex. We used to talk with them about that all the time. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, we started watching from the beginning.
Not finished that.
Golden Girls, Will and Grace, I think we've watched maybe all the way through at least twice. And more recently, Superstore, we've become addicted to, and I'm a bit worried because we're running out of episodes. We're getting to the end. So we've watched so much TV, which we would never have watched otherwise. And I really enjoy those moments with you, sort of sitting down and watching telly and sharing that time.
We mostly had to stay up too late because we were trying to get our parents a supermarket slot.
Yeah.
They're available at midnight, so we would just stay up watching stuff until late. Since then, I've never been to bed before 12, I don't think, during this whole pandemic. And if I turn my phone off before 1, that's an early night. So I don't really get to sleep till about 2.
I registered my mum as vulnerable quite early on in the pandemic, and Sainsbury's were really, really good. They always got a slot. More recently, they've been doing things like Iceland, and we've got them on our Ocado. We were quite lucky with Ocado because we've been with them, it must be for 10 years at least.
Over 10 years,
yeah. And they guaranteed us a slot. We don't live near a supermarket, like a proper supermarket where we can do a weekly shop, and we don't have a car. So in order for us to do like a proper weekly shop, it's quite challenging. So we were really grateful to be able to get food orders. You know, we could go to the local Tesco.
Well, we were doing that 5 times a week, and it felt like it wasn't socially responsible to go out. This must be so weird for a lot of you because you've been going to work out in the real world every day.
Yeah.
And it hasn't made a difference in terms of that for you. We've literally been out probably 24 times in the last 12 months. So this may be a bit odd. But yeah, it didn't seem right, us going out 4 or 5 times a week to the local Tesco Metro to pick up the food we needed for a week when we could get a delivery, when there's so many other people who have to go out. Teachers are always working, nurses, doctors, bin men,
you're going to miss off a profession.
Supermarkets,
postmen,
milkmen, cleaners, all you
bus drivers,
train drivers, people make sure that all stays working,
taxi
IT
drivers,
people,
security,
all that stuff that has to be done.
Yeah,
they don't need us adding to the potential of causing issues. So we were very grateful that we were getting food delivered. But it did mean staying up late to do slots for parents.
I was talking to them on the phone this morning, and they were like, "Yeah, we're not rushing back to no supermarket." Because I order them all this food that they'd never tried before.
Wouldn't normally buy,
No, they wouldn't normally buy. So whenever I can, I just like load up the shopping cart with as much new stuff as possible to get them to try stuff. It's been great. We decided to start thinking about home because we were here all the time. We invested in a new sofa.
We invested in a new sofa because our fat arses.
We went through the bottom of it.
We had 2 sofas. I mean, admittedly, they were getting on their last legs, but
And they were very...
the springs, literally, I was sat on the sofa one day and it dropped because the springs had broken, and that had happened. Look, yeah, more sofa with broken springs.
That's why you wouldn't do Tower of Terror.
It's
There's
got-
that feeling of...
Felt like I'd done Tower of Terror. David giving it the thumbs up. Yeah, so we decided we needed to replace that.
And we decided to get one big one, didn't we? So we could sit together.
That's how big the box was.
It's huge. Joking. Oh, and we got a new carpet.
So I've been through my photo stream to prepare for this, and what I found is that David does always like to take my phone when I'm not in the room.
My fingerprint's set up on his phone.
Why would it not be? Because you might need it in emergency. Just say it's not the other way around. Just
mine's
say
not
it.
fingerprint. I don't have.
I've got a face anyway.
I don't have a fingerprint
So
on this one. Oh.
David will do some random photos. He'll just take
Hello.
photos. He'll take selfies.
Not the most flattering ones normally.
He'll take selfies, and there's a lot of selfies. Selfie, selfie, selfie. Yeah, so I find that during lockdown there were lots of, selfie, 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 selfie.
Always in a black t-shirt.
Obviously, David being attacked by someone with 2 handprints on his boobs. I think that was self-inflicted.
We never got into baking. Like we didn't join the baking craze.
Whoa!
over
Look,
I
did lamb.
We did lots of cooking, but we didn't get into the baking. I really want to get into like cupcakes.
Bread pudding.
I'm already quite chunky, so I don't need to. But we were watching Sugar Rush, and every episode I watched, I was like, I'm going to make that, I'm going to do that, and it never happened.
No, that didn't happen. Our little fad of doing decent cooking from home, I think that finished by May.
Yeah.
We had homemade pizza. There's the dough. There's the pizza.
We did that last night, actually. We are still using the ready-made dough and making our own. It's much better for my belly. Makes it bigger.
Talking of bigger, on the 10th of April, I saved this photo of a moo-moo because I was convinced I was going back to work in the summer, pretty much looking like Homer Simpson in a moo-moo. So that was one of the reasons why we decided we need to do something about weight, and we did the Noom thing.
Yeah, and it really worked. Noom was really great.
Until we stopped in September. We now need to get back onto it, as you would have seen from the weekend vlogs.
I think what happened with the weight loss was, I think we were expecting to come out of lockdown and be able to be out and seeing people, and like, we should really make an effort, look after ourselves, get healthy, get ready to enter the real world again. And then we realised, got turning up to Christmas, and it was like, I was like, oh, we give up. We gave up for a few months, but we are thinking about getting back.
David's thoughts about
getting back onto it. And then August came around, so the summer came around, and we were allowed to get out, and that was a really important time.
Get out of my lockdown.
It was so important because we went to see parents, and it was the first time since my mum had had her cancer treatment that I'd seen her. So I'd seen her after her operation, but I'd not seen her after she'd had the therapies, and that was really important trip. And we did, it was over a week, wasn't it?
That's one of my biggest regrets, that we should have done longer for that trip.
Yeah.
After your mum and my dad had their operation, before lockdown started, we'd had the conversation that every 3 weeks at the weekend we were going to go and stay at a parent, but we'd probably travel on a Thursday night, work from there on a Friday, come back on the Sunday. You weren't sure if your job would allow it. I was pretty sure mine would. Then lockdown happened.
Yeah.
And that's one of the good things of lockdown, is that companies are now being more relaxed about working from home.
My contract's been changed to flexible working.
So that does mean we can go and stay and work from parents.
Yeah, definitely. So that road trip was really exciting. We went to Nottingham. It was the start of almost like the home vlogs, I think.
We were in panic mode.
No, we weren't.
No, we were, because we're still trying to develop the channel as we are now. We love vlogging. It's been a real great hobby to do together. It's been lovely filming our trips and even looking back on that. And when lockdown started, we had a trip in May, didn't we? That we were like, are we going?
Oh, yeah,
are we not going?
Yeah, we did.
And we had some friends who were going to Walt Disney World at the same time for the very first time. So it's exciting because we were due to see it through their eyes. And they were like, do you think it'll still be on? And we were like, well, not sure. This was like in March. now looking back, you think it wasn't
Crazy,
never going to happen.
Crazy.
And then when that trip got cancelled, we're like, oh, we've currently got a vlog series going at the moment, and that's going to take us up till August. We were due to go away again middle of August, so we're like, well, there's going to be a gap. We don't have any vlogs. So we're like, what do we do? We're like, oh. So we thought about it, and then August got cancelled, and we were like, we literally don't know what we're going to do for vlogs.
All we knew was we wanted to carry on putting out content because, you know, the comments we get and the interactions and messages we get outside of the vlogs have always encouraged us to keep going. So, and people were asking to see more about us. I'm not sure why. Awkward. But people were interested, so we was like, well, we'll try this road trip. We won't film necessarily where we're going, but we'll film how we got there. And I really enjoyed those car trips, and I think there's 4 videos of us travelling to different parts, going to my parents, to your parents, to Southampton, and then home.
We definitely learned a lot about filming in a car.
Yeah.
Also learned a lot about GoPro accessories, because the one we had for the trip up, there was no audio after we plugged it in. Hence the audio on that episode's a bit ropey because it's from the camera that's sat at the front of the car facing outwards on top of the air vents. So there's a lot that we couldn't show because the audio was worse than the stuff we had. So we had to, it was a learning experience.
Yeah, it was. And that, like I say, that trip was really important. We saw friends in Southampton, we saw your parents, my parents, and we stopped off at Alex and Ree. We just turned up at their house, didn't we? Like, hello! Surprise them. And then in September, there was more life changes, weren't there? I started back at university. I'd done a couple of courses after my degree, and it was time to go back again. So I signed up for 3 years, which is a bit mental. So that's all distant learning, which is quite exciting.
At that point, we also thought, let's go Disneyland Paris. It opened in July. I think we booked it in June, didn't we? Thinking we knew it was opening.
I forgot we booked that.
We booked it before October. By that point, numbers are coming down. Things are back to normal. Yeah. No, we literally missed the window by I think about 2 weeks because our direct train, which made us feel safe about going from London to the park, got cancelled. We had to do a change at Lille, and we're like, we want to do that.
Yeah.
And then the government introduced you need to isolate for 2 weeks if you come back from France, and that didn't work because you had work that you couldn't isolate from.
Well, it was supposed to be essential travel, and I mean,
things were getting bad.
Obviously, different people have different interpretations of that, but we didn't think going to Disneyland Paris was essential either. So even if we could make it work, I don't think we should have.
It's banging again upstairs.
We're dancing.
If you can't hear this on camera, that's
it's just
weird.
it's
quite loud bass.
But in September instead, we ended up having the opportunity to go to Harry Potter, didn't we?
Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Which was fantastic.
That Warner Brothers Studios tour.
Because lockdown had been eased and things were open. So Alex and Ree came up and it was just wonderful. Like, just to go out for the day, do something different. It was so empty as well because of restrictions and limited capacity. And we'd never been before, and we're obviously massive Harry Potter fans, and it was just such a great opportunity. Also in September, we started weekend vlogging with our first trip into London.
You weren't very happy, were you?
Was it not?
No. You were happy about doing the vlog. When we went into London for the first time, it was supposed to be an experiment using the footage.
Yeah, it was.
And I think your recollection of the footage was it was going to be not as vlog-worthy. In my head, I thought we'd filmed it as a vlog, so I thought there was definitely footage there. And I think you were out one day working, and in my lunch hour, I put a bit together. When you came home, like, have a look at that. If you don't like it, we won't use it. And then you looked and went, oh, actually, that's not what I recall. But yeah, it's a vlog. And that's the first episode of when we went into town, had our eye test, went to Covent Garden, had a wander around, went to Primark.
Ooh, door. Go, go, go. Thanks for getting the door.
We definitely got to know our delivery drivers during lockdown.
Yeah, our Hermes one got a Christmas present. Bless him. He's alright, the actual driver's alright. The parcels never quite arrive how they're supposed to.
Now's not the time. Now's not the time for that.
So yeah, weekend vlog started, and don't know what we're on now, 26, 27?
Something like that. It was only supposed to be an occasional series, wasn't it? In our head, we know when we'll stop doing them if there's lack of interest, and we've got a level in our head of what that will be.
I think they've been quite therapeutic for us as well, though, in the sense of having something to do on the weekends, you know, getting up, filming. It's made us do stuff.
Dusting more often.
Cleaning more often. Bonus. It has made us very busy, though. in the week, like editing them and putting them together, that can be a challenge. Not gonna lie.
But it has made this crazy year go a bit quicker.
It does.
Because
It does.
weeks are flying by.
Yeah,
Monday night
they are.
edit, Tuesday night edit, Wednesday night not edit, Thursday night food and edit, Friday night, oh, is it weekend? Oh, we've got a vlog again tomorrow.
Leading up to Christmas, you've seen what we've been getting up to every weekend because they're in those vlogs. One of the highlights leading up to Christmas for me was when we asked people to do the decoration, and people spent loads of time and effort making those decorations, and it was just so
Lovely.
much more successful than I was ever expecting it to be. It was really, really great. One of the big highlights in December for me, and
Christmas?
on one of the best days,
Christmas.
was going to see the Lego exhibition in Covent Garden, but then going to Baltic, and it was one of the only meals we had out in 2020. Can you remember?
I do, but I was also thinking earlier, I really miss a ginger chicken udon, no coriander from Wagamama's, and bang bang cauliflower, and we've not had that for over a year. I also miss the calamari from Busaba, the other place that we would eat out a lot. But yes, the trip into town,
That Baltic trip.
the Lego thing was a little bit underwhelming, I have to say, but it was more than made up for when we went to Baltic. Our favourite restaurant had rose petal vodka,
We had everything.
lovely
we wanted.
meal.
We had everything we wanted.
and lots of space around us. I also miss the steak from Relais d'Entrecôte. It's a French restaurant. They do chips and steak with a mustard tarragon special mystery sauce, and you get a salad for start. That's it. That's all they do. They do a salad and steak and chips. And we've not been there for over a year. They're the only things I've really missed in terms of food. But yeah, Baltic was great.
And I think all of these things you just said, we're going to make the most of when the world opens up again and we feel safe and the world is safer, because having it all taken away from you makes you realise how much you miss it.
Yeah, and I'm not going to miss doing washing up 3 times a day when we end lockdown. Cooking non-stop.
You make it
cook-
sound like I don't do anything.
No, I'm talking about in general. I'm like, when you're at home the whole time and every meal that you eat is home prepared, and as a result of that, there's washing. And we've got a small kitchen. We don't have a dishwasher. I don't mind doing pots, but you just think, oh, it's now
never
pot.
ending.
It's now. I mean, as part of the facilities role we've got in this office during the week, part of it is making sure that everything is spick and span.
We had Christmas at home, we had a new Christmas tree. I had a gorgeous Christmas with you at home. It was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it.
As did I.
We'd not had Christmas at home for a long time, so it was really, really great. And then in January we started doing new stuff. Sundays became really quite an interesting evening because we started to watch The Serpent, but also there was is it Heist, how you pronounce his name?
Heist. He's a Dutch pianist who used to work at the Disneyland Hotel in Paris playing the piano.
We'd watch him on a Sunday. Obviously Despicable 3's vlog is out on a Sunday.
Cage's band also
Cage's
currently,
band.
although hopefully they'll be out of lockdown and can do work on Sunday, but they've been keeping us entertained on a Sunday evening as well.
And then in between all of that, Radio 2 does Sunday night is music night, which I absolutely love. That music, it's like old school Hollywood.
I've never listened to the radio so much in my life.
We bought a radio, didn't we? Well, we did. We bought the Google Hub
Bloody
thing.
Google.
We bought this Google thing so we could have the radio, just set it up so it switches off all the lights and all that type of stuff. But we listened to so much radio.
Hey Google, how are you feeling?
I'm grand, thanks. What can I do for you?
As you were.
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that. There are other things.
Ian tries to talk to it like it's a human. It's
I feel like if I'm going to have some interactivity with something that is it not inanimate, then I need it to kind of give me something back.
Sundays have become a really nice evening, nice
Sundays,
day.
fun days.
Sunday's been really, really cool. We've really enjoyed them. We find ourselves in February, March now, and I've had my jab.
Jab one.
Obviously through work.
I'm on the cusp of the not quite 50s.
He's 50 this year, so...
Fingers crossed. So I'm hoping to have my jab in April. I'm on a list. That's the main thing. I'm on a list. We've planned to go in June, haven't we?
Yeah, that trip's not happening though.
So we're moving that. And even if it was happening, I don't think I would have had my second jab. So I don't feel that I would be comfortable going away in June. So that's
we're
gone.
not going in June. We have these flights to LA, which we've been moving and moving and moving.
Knock it back.
So currently
Knock it
they're
back.
scheduled for June. They'll get moved again. We're thinking into 2022 now. But we've also got October, which we are more hopeful about, going to Walt Disney World. I know it might sound like we're crazy, but I think you have to have some sort of sense of things will return to normality, and having a trip booked in for October is that sense of, okay, we've got something to look forward to. We're quite used to things not happening now, so the disappointment doesn't run.
I'm a little bit scared if things do happen, because there's other things that I need to do. I need to pack, I need to plan other stuff.
Yeah, so it's not so, like, the disappointment doesn't hurt so much as it probably did at the start of this lockdown. We're a bit more thicker skin.
A bit more grateful as well.
Oh God, yeah.
If it happens, it happens. It'd be lovely. If it doesn't, well, there's, it's not happening for a reason.
Yeah. We've got tons of holiday to take for work. They've just been rolling and rolling. Rolling. We're desperate to get out of this flat just for a couple of nights. So
Why? I mean, it's massive and spacious. Why would you want to? You're probably asking yourself.
We booked a week away, like Monday to Friday in April. Self-catering reopens up in April. So we booked 4 nights. Originally we were supposed to be going with friends, but obviously we can't meet up with people in April.
Or be under the same roof. So it's
be
like...
in the same roof. So we've decided we'll do that later in the year, but we do need to get out. So we've booked this 5 days, where we're going to Centre Parks. I forgot where we're going.
You said we're going to Wilderness Lodge. I got excited.
Yeah.
Then I realised I misheard. We're actually staying in the wilderness in a lodge, but it's Centre Parks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Even I will do a tent at the moment, and I don't do tents.
It was £479, 4 nights in a lodge. We're literally going for the lodge and the woods and the lakes and being able to see the wildlife and just be...
That doesn't mean we're going dogging.
We were joking about that. Not joking that we were going to do it, joking that...
Who are you joking with? Is this your little special WhatsApp group?
No, what WhatsApp group?
I don't know. I can't get in your phone. We've established that.
So we're going to do Centre Parks 5 days. They've said they're opening from the 12th, so we'll see what happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
It'll be nice. We're going to stay in a lodge, open the doors, maybe see some wildlife. Not squirrels now after our trip out the other week, but there's deer, birds,
Ducks
wandering around. Maybe get on a boat.
We've got barbecue, so we'll probably do some barbecuing. Basically what we do here, we're going to do somewhere else.
But with fresh air and no man playing his music very loudly or leaking. Now he's stamping.
Other than that, for this year, we've really thought about how and what we do regarding trips. Lockdown's really made us appreciate family more, friends more, not take those things for granted. So making sure that, we're still going to be going to Disney, definitely. Still going to America. Yeah. We need to start focusing on family more and going to...
And also building up those air miles again, because we don't like paying for flights. We like to use miles. It's the only way to do it. Can't go otherwise.
No, it's true. We are really, really grateful for the year we've had in all of the circumstances. I think we've been extremely lucky, but it hasn't been without its challenges, like I say.
I've become both patient and intolerant at the same time. It's been a weird paradox. Some things, it doesn't bother me as much as it would have 12 months ago, and then there are other things that my patience is 0 for, which is odd. Throughout
it all though, I'm really grateful I had you for the last 12 months and being able to live through this with someone, so thank you for your company. I've really enjoyed being around you. It's got all soppy.
I mean, I would say the same, but I'm not.
Okay. That's our sort of review.
I'm joking, I do mean it.
Love you.
Ow, my shoulder.
Thumbnail. I think that is our review of lockdown. The channel's going to keep going. We're going to keep filming stuff. We are grateful that you come and say hello every Saturday morning and check out the videos.
I said it before, we've got a lovely little community. We've got 1,000 people on Facebook. We've capped it 1,000 because it just gets very difficult to
communicate
with everyone. But the comments on the videos and in the group have been lovely. On Twitter, on Instagram, really got us through some challenging times in this year of hell. So thank you very much for the role that you've played in that, and thank you very much for the support you've given us. Tell us in the comments what you think your highlights or lowlights have been for this 12 months and how you got through it and
what's kept you going.
Going back to Estelle's tweet, what would you do differently going into these last 12 months if you knew what was going to be happening? We're really interested to know what you think downstairs.
Thank you for your support, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next
video.
Bye bye.